good evening or good morning to you, wherever you are. Welcome back to another episode of Literature and Lore of Skyrim. This time I'm going to read of Fjori and Holgeir, and instead of zooming in on the book, I just wanted to show you something attached to this history because I stumbled across this story by accident, completing a quest for the blacksmith in Windhelm, in which I was asked to retrieve a sword, Quinn Freydis' sword, which was told to be in here in Ansilvund, and it transpires that in going there I uncovered two stories. One was a really sad story which I read in my other cast, which I'll put a link to at the bottom, and the story also was the one that I'm holding in my hands at the moment. So Ansilvund is where the story is based actually, which is quite interesting. So let's go back and open the book and let's read of Fjori and Holgeir. Again, I do love the work that's in here with the modification of making these books look nice. Okay, here we go. Of Fjori and Holgeir. In her 29th summer of life, Fjori the huntress met the warlord Holgeir on the field of battle. None remember what they fought over, for their love to come was so great it overshadowed all rivalries or disputes. They fought to a standstill as their followers looked on, till her sword broke his axe and his shield dulled her blade, and all could see that they were equals. As the eagle finds its mates, so too did Fjori find hers in Holgeir, and a time of peace came to the clans of the forest. But as the summer's warmth gives way to winter's chill, so too would this peace pass. But the snake came and bit Holgeir, its venom seeping deep into the wound. A wail greeted Fjori's view as she came over the snow-covered mountains to the coast. She obtained an elixir from the Akavir and returned to the forest in haste. Though Holgeir could smell the winds of Sovngarde, she gave him the elixir and he was cured in an instant. But the snake bit Fjori as she poured the last drop into Holgeir's mouth, and fatigued from her journey, she joined the ancestors immediately. Holgeir's grief was such that he built a tomb, and upon completion took his own life that he might rejoin her. So in the game, knowing about the snake and the whale and the eagle in order allows you to access the tomb in Ansilvund. But I thought the story was really nice, and at the end of the quest you meet the ghosts of Holgeir and Fjori, and they give you the ghost blade as a way of saying thank you, which is lovely. And the story obviously reminds you of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, but also, probably more importantly, Orpheus and Eurydice. If you don't know it, I think Eurydice is bitten by a snake and Orpheus loses her. But I thought that was a nice touch in Skyrim, but what makes it an extra special touch actually is the stories that are kind of attached to it in here. As I say, I kind of attached it in there, but really it's a sad story about a necromancer who tries to raise Holgeir again for her husband that she lost in the war to come back. And I think that shows the nice touches that they're putting in here. That kind of above and beyond, and the idea that if you take your time in this game it pays off. So the journal is called Lu'ah's Journal, and what goes with it, which I didn't read in that cast, is the Imperial Condolences, which is this. So 175 Imperial Citizen Lu'ah Al-Skaven, it is with the deepest regret that I must inform you of the death of your husband Sail. He laid down his life in battle, helping retake the Imperial City from the Aldmeri. He showed great courage in his final hour, and his sacrifice will not be in vain. All considered him a man of high moral standing, and a shining example of the best the Empire has to offer. In this hour of your grief, please take solace in the fact that he gave up his life protecting the Empire, which he held so dear. Yours sincerely, Imperial Prefect Pius Brucius. I won't read the book again, because I'd encourage you to go to my cast, but Lu'ah's Journal is sad too. So we've got romances involved in romances, and lovers who are not meant to be. A nice touch. Thanks very much for listening.